Molweni nonke, kule veki sisibhiyozela isiXhosa kwaye usuku lwenkululeko lwethu ngolwesihlanu. Good morning everyone. This week we celebrate Xhosa Focus Week as well as our upcoming Freedom Day on Friday by means of an off day followed by a long weekend. This Friday holds great significance for us as South Africans. In a country with 11 official languages, it is not surprising that we unfortunately still have such division between different groups in our society. Acceptance starts with understanding, and understanding can only develop through immersing oneself in someone else's way of life, their culture, their traditions, and their language in order to better understand how they think as individuals. Our next guest is a very special one, as she embodies this idea of closing the gap of understanding between different cultures through language. She was born in the heart of Transkei, and over the years has used her understanding of African languages, predominantly Xhosa, as well as her unrelenting work ethic to help bridge the social gap through her work. Please give a warm welcome to Caley.Africa.
Okay, molweni nonke niphilile namhlanje. Okay guys, I'm going to try that again and I need a little bit more enthusiasm. Molweni nonke niphilile namhlanje. Okay, now feeling good. Thank you very much for asking. But to be standing on the stage and looking at so many male faces, right? I come from a co-ed school, so this is totally new to me. Anyway, igama lam Caley.Africa. And I laugh when I say my surname Vanderkolk because people immediately assume that you're super good at Afrikaans, right? Which is just not true in my case. So ndazalelwa kuMthatha, ndakhulele kuGatshana endaweni in the heart of Transkei. So how many of you over here think that you know where Willowvale is on a map? By show of hands. Small village found on the east coast of South Africa, which in the former Transkei, which was an area originally reserved for black Xhosa-speaking people to relocate to during the apartheid era, right? And then there was us, our family, who's clearly very, very white, who lived there as well. This over here is my first school photo. And a very, very sweet story is that I ran up to my mother after school and said, Mama, we are born DP, Mama DP, Mommy, can you spot me? Well, I like to joke around and say it's like a really, really easy game of Where's Wally? But, so yes, thank you very much. I certainly have not had a conventional upbringing at all, right? Instead of playing with Barbies and listening or watching Teletubbies and Kidio, I was playing deep in the lullies with goats and chickens and drinking iti nesonka, very, very sweet iti nesonka. And instead of my first word being mommy or daddy, it was hamba, which literally means go away in his Xhosa. I was clearly a really unfriendly kid. Instead of my first language being English, it was actually Xhosa. And I was better at speaking the language at this age than I am now, right? Which talks to the fact that if you want to learn a language, you really, really need to be practicing it on a daily basis. But guys, I'm actually not here today to tell you about my life story, although it does provide context for what I am here to say. And what I want to say to you guys is, every single one of you sitting in this room should dive into studying a second and a third language while you have the time, right? And you should do so with a deep sense of passion because it is a true privilege to be able to connect with your fellow brothers and sisters in their mother language, right? In their mother tongue. Okay, now I'm a little bit confused. But guys, it really, really is a true privilege to be able to connect with your brothers and sisters sitting in this room in their mother tongue. And I'm going to give you guys, and I know a lot of you guys think like, we're so busy, we don't have time now, we've got sport, we've got extramural activities. And as a 28-year-old, I'm here to tell you that you do have time, right? If I had someone looking back at my former self in school, I say, take the time to develop the building blocks that are going to make you stand out as an adult, right? How are you going to differentiate yourself? The real world is extremely competitive, particularly with the digital realm having opened up opportunities to so many more people. What are you going to do to stand out to your employers or to the world one day. And certainly knowing more than one language is one way of doing this, okay? So I have, oh, there we go, dear. Okay, so I have 3 points for you guys today that I certainly hope are going to inspire you to listen to me. In 2015, I was placed in the national top 10 of the presenter search on 3. Okay, so that was SABC search for the new top billing, afternoon express or morning espresso presenter. Now, I was not the best presenter by any means. I don't possess a formal training in acting or presenting. But what I had was an X factor that made me stand out against the tens of thousands of entrants that stood in the line to be noticed. And what happens is when you present something that is unique, people will bubble you to the surface, right? And I cannot say how many opportunities have opened since this presenter search. Talk to the point of differentiation, because you will bubble to the surface if you bring unique variables to the table. And secondly, it allows you to connect with your fellow brothers and sisters in a truly meaningful manner. Okay. My second point is that I stepped out at the age of 28 to become a CEO of a social entrepreneurial venture called isiXhosa. Now, how many of you are potentially thinking of becoming entrepreneurs when you grow up? Nice, it's a really, really good choice. Entrepreneurship is really hard, right? And a lot of people say you need to have a lot of experience before you step out and become a CEO. But what my unique background and language ability gave me was the confidence to step out and try, okay? My supply chain consists of rural, Xhosa speaking bead women in the township and rural areas, okay? So they originally came from rural, some of them that are living in the township. Now they don't speak English. They're aged 50 to 70. They speak isiXhosa only. And now you need to be communicating with these people very, very sensitive business information that if they don't understand it, your business falls apart. So entrepreneurship is hard already. But what speaking isiXhosa and having an understanding of African languages and African cultures given me is the confidence to try, right? And confidence is king. So these are some of the pictures from the first video that we produced, a promotional video, which I can share with you guys, although we don't have time today. I'll give it to your teachers. And it actually ended up on Discovery Channel, so it really would be worthwhile watching. Okay, my third point is that speaking another language gifts you with perspective. And perspective is a gift because it is a key input variable into creative problem solving. Okay? So if you only have one view of the world, how are you going to be able to come up with creative solutions to soul and being? I encourage every single one of you to dive into studying a second and third language while you have the time, right? And do so with a deep sense of passion, because it is a true privilege to be able to connect with your brothers and sisters in their mother tongue. At the moment, I am involved in a venture called Heavy Chef, as Daniel mentioned. Now, Heavy Chef is, again, not a cooking show. We celebrate some of South Africa's most infamous entrepreneurs on a stage. And we had a particularly well-respected businessman stand on a stage by the name of Kolisa Diashana. And Kolisa Diashana said, South Africans do not like one another, right? And he crossed out the terms, do not like one another. And he said, South Africans do not understand one another. And if language can serve as a catalyst to this understanding, then guys, while you have the time, jump in, study it, and help enhance our understanding of one another. Okay, that's all from me, guys. And guys, I certainly hope to Buya and stand on the stage. If you would like to follow my journey, then please check out those social media accounts and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.
And I really hope the boys understand the importance of an African language and training of the person.